maybe my bartenders would get a little something, maybe a couple bucks, and then all of a sudden it was...
Yeah. You guys, we touch on everything today. This is easily going to be one of the best podcasts of the year. I met with Kevin, one of the co-hosts for the 4th of July Block Party. We do annually in Fort Collins, Colorado. We actually met on Christmas, which was about 2 weeks ago. This is 7 months before the event, so we're way on top of it. I cannot wait to see what we do with the event this year coming up in 2019. And, just take a listen, because what we touch on is really everything under the sun. If you have any interest in promoting events, or, if you're an artist and you just want to know more about what happens behind the scenes, and we're touching on city ordinances and permits, vendors, security, taking a stand against underage drinking, which is huge for me, scheduling, artist management, local versus touring performers, promotion. You get it. We're hitting on everything. Take a listen, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Venue-wise, we could probably bring it back to the park, or bring it back to the block.
You want to? Okay, so that's the first question for sure.
Do we want to do block, or do we want to go back to venue?
First of all, we're just going to co-host it, right? We don't want a third person joining into the mix. I really like how we've been doing it so far.
Yeah.
I think it's great. You started off something amazing, and I'm, again, still just honored that you bring me on. If we want to just 50-50 it again like we did last time, works for me.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Okay, so if we don't have a third party we got to talk to, then if we're making these decisions ourselves, we've got... Dude, we had a conversation about this last year, too. I don't even know what we landed on, but I kind of agree with you. Like, the block party, I think, was way better.
Yeah.
Because...
It just had a different vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
one
the
thing...
vibe was just...
dude, the one... Like, they understaffed the fuck out of that venue last time.
Well, and it's funny, too, because even... he was even saying, like, I was way understaffed for this because I was not expecting much.
And they admitted it, right?
Which was cool. I understand.
And I respect that.
And after he was looking on Facebook, too, and shit like that, like, all right, this is... All right, it's not going to be nothing, I'll... maybe my bartenders would get a little something, maybe a couple bucks, and then all of a sudden it was...
Yeah, and and I don't want... Let's leave the name of the venue out, because I want to say something honest here. I appreciate that we got a chance. Like, they took a big chance on us, too. So let's not leave that out, right?
No, of course.
It's pretty cool that we got an opportunity to bring something that had no... We had street cred like crazy, for sure.
Right. Well, there's a lot of our credibility in what we've done in years past that brought along... And, of course...
But they were the first
it's the bands that usually, that particularly bring in a lot of people.
Oh, 100%. I mean, because dude, it's kind of weird. We've got these two... Yeah, the bands have their fan base that they bring.
Right.
Which is the whole point of every single show ever, is literally the bands are hired as marketing contractors.
Right.
And event contractors, or entertainment. Marketing and entertainment, that's their job. So you've got your own like circle, where we've got our own circle that we've created, but a lot of that ties back into a lot of those we share a lot of those people with the fans of those bands.
Right.
I think it'd be interesting if we were to start working with some new artists. Everyone who those fans already know about this, right?
Right.
I think, and also everyone's gonna get tired of listening. So let's just think about the people who want to go. What are they gonna want? They're gonna want something new, but something that they can rely on to be
so, like,
awesome.
Isn't this the same band from last year? Damn, isn't this the same band from last year?
Exactly.
Damn, it's the same band from last year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's avoid that. Like, right out the gate, I think that's something to be conscious of.
We've already got our starter kit. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time to upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, I really do think let's talk about it offline, but there's a specific band I think we should bring back.
Right.
But we can go through ideas. We've got a lot of time. But I would like to bring back one of the bands, but then let's do all fresh other than that.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, once we find a block and stuff like that, I mean, our biggest issue was trying to find somewhere big enough, right? If we can bring that block party back, I've talked to Blue already.
Okay.
And he was definitely
Blue's the
down.
officer?
No, Blue was the guy across the street that we had the bands on his lawn.
Yes. Okay.
So he was all on board of, I even told him, I was like, even if you need a little help with money and stuff like that, as far as like getting the barricades. And
so even though you don't live there, you still got that block locked down if we want to use it.
Right.
No shit. Okay. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So, but the only problem is I don't know who else is around there. Who's moved in, who's moved out, who's still there from the original block parties that know what to expect.
Here's the beauty.
To those
Here's the beauty. We have video. We can show them literally their block. We can say, this is what it was in the past. We expect the same thing with more people. And if, we're not going to do this without your permission. Because you and I both know if we do it without it, then they're going to call the cops to get shut down.
No, absolutely.
So we tell them, honestly, we're not going to do this without your permission, but we really would appreciate it if you allow the city to continue doing this thing we've been doing every year.
And it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Every year it's gotten more cordial and respectful.
Yeah.
It's never been out of control. It's never been having to been shut down. The one time, and it only did have to be shut down is because we didn't have noise permits. And then, this year it does. You know what I'm saying? And so having that credibility and that sense of security for somebody who's new.
We'll just come heart in hand, humble like we always do.
Yeah.
You and I are we can sell it. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm concerned with is specific logistics, and I'm not worried at all. It's just things that I'm conscious of that we need. I want to be so far ahead on getting I want to have the noise permit before we even start hiring artists this year. Right. That would be way less stressful, because you know what, though? Like, if we can lock that down, the artists are going to appreciate it, obviously.
No, absolutely.
Like, because
and that's what we had the year before. As long as we had the barricades, the underlying, I guess, gray area was as long as it's not extremely loud, you didn't need a noise permit. As long as the barricades were up, that was enough to have what you wanted.
Yeah, understood.
Essentially, as far as that.
There is a decibel level number, though, and I want to figure out.
I think it was like 75, if I'm remembering correctly. It was like 75 was cool, but like once it starts getting up to like 80, 85, that's where it's not cool.
So I want to find out what we can do in real time during the event to manage ourselves.
Right.
Because I refuse to allow.
You can find one of those meters too for like easy.
Yeah, we can find
a sound meter went up for like decibels and whatnot. Go around the block. All right, we're 60 here.
I want to physically do that
here.
During sound check. I want to do that, and then I want to be doing it after each artist switches, because if we're that on top of things, there's no chance that we put all this work together. The artists put all this time, putting together, promoting and getting people there, and then the place gets shut down early and we can't.
Right.
That's the thing that always horrifies me with the idea of a block party is like, if it gets shut down, that is a massive catastrophe in my mind. Like, it sounds like it's not a big deal. Oh, it ended early. Most people are like, oh, whatever.
We've been through it. That's just it.
We've been there, dude, and it's such a disappointment to the people who don't get to perform.
Right.
And to the people who came to see the people who were performing last.
Right.
That's so
like,
shitty.
Whatever happened to that shit? We ain't never doing that shit again. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Now, here's another thing, too. The weather has always previously been kind of potentially...
Every year it's rained. Every year.
Last year we got lucky. It wasn't that bad.
It rained a lot. It actually rained harder last year than it did the year before.
Well, when we were at the park, though, it started.
Like when we were at the park, it wasn't.
That
was nothing, because it was clear as day by the park. It wasn't until the first act started. Is when
Phil lost his keys. You remember that?
Yeah,
that's
when Phil started freaking out.
He spent the whole day getting his keys, dude. I felt so bad.
I did not understand that shit at all, dog. I was like, this dude's fucking tripping over nothing.
So I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, but I mean, weather-wise, I'm not worried about, because again, this will be what, year 6?
This is year number 6.
This is year 6. So.
This is your 6th year, man.
Every year that I've done this, there's maybe been 1 or 2 of those years that didn't really rain.
Yep. So we can count. Let's just count on it. What are we going to do?
Count on it's going to get rained on.
So we're going to be responsible, essentially. Let's pretend like we're responsible for the gear, even though we're not.
Right.
What are we going to do to help you? Because we're not going to get good artists in there if we don't help make sure that their shit's taken care of,
and what we did, like I said, I'm just going on based off of years past. This last year and the year before that, we had bands under, tents under and stuff like that were under. All the equipment, at least, the important equipment was under.
I don't want the bands this year on the ground. I think we can do better this year. I think we
you
can.
want to try to raise them up somewhere?
I think we can raise them on something.
What about?
Can we build a stage maybe, or like we could probably rent one for not very much.
I mean, that would be cool.
How much?
But at the same time, like as soon as you try to put any kind of structure down, I know the city's gonna want some type of permit for that as well.
Well,
you gotta think about that.
Is there any type of structure that you can think of?
Well, we gotta find out what the minimum and maximums are.
Right.
So if we have what looks like a dance floor, and we happen to raise it, under 10 foot or 5 foot, where does that take us?
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not thinking anything crazy, I just think, I'm thinking like 5 feet off the ground, nothing ridiculous. I just want to give them this like feeling of, hey, I promoted this show and I'm the center of attention for my set,
Right.
People don't come just for the music. This has always been a culturally rich event where people come to see each other.
This is something that we're just trying to get back into the zone because this is something that Fort Collins itself used to promote, but no, now it's been forgotten.
Yeah.
Because now people are thinking, no, you can't have a block party. It's like, trust me, man, I've been doing this for 6 years. Yeah.
You can have a block party.
You can have a block party.
Yeah, right. And it's so cool. I mean, let's tap, you know what? We need to get back onto the vendor thing too.
Yeah. So the thing that I learned last year from being in an actual venue to what we've been doing as far as the block parties and the things that we're missing, staff.
Yeah.
Staff was a big thing that we did not even count on bathrooms. That was a big expense.
We never got either of those dialed in years past at the block.
Well, and the thing is like I've never gotten it to a point where I can get, maybe a discount off of it, or I could, maybe get a hookup off, something like that. Because
I'll help work some deals, man. I can guarantee you right now, without even figuring out how, we will work. We'll just. Here's the thing.
The thing is too is we always work last minute in the last couple of years.
We have. Well, it's Christmas Day, by the way, and we're working this out. It's for the 4th of July. By the way, you know what? Holler about that, huh? I'm fucking proud of us. We're getting ahead of it. We learned our lessons. So I think, dude, there's supply and demand is completely on our side. Right. No one else is here, dude. Hodie's Half Note doesn't even throw a show. They're closed on the 4th of July because there's so much competition in other events.
Well, just like we were talking about last year, there's no event from, New West Fest?
Yeah.
New West Fest.
There's no events at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the summer. I don't know what's going on.
In July, there's nothing.
In July, there's nothing. I misspoke.
July, from like the end of June to about beginning of August, there's no events.
You're right.
Yeah, because there's New West Fest, and then right after New West Fest is done, it's Tour de Fête.
100%.
Which is not until the end of August.
Yeah, and then there's FoCo MX at some point.
Right.
I don't even remember when that is.
Great
I think it's at the end of the
all
summer.
That shit doesn't happen until after August.
That's like August or September. Yeah. So, dude, we've got.
There's a massive window.
This is our spot, dude.
Window.
Here's the thing. There's no reason why we can't make it at some point. When we decide to take that on, we could absolutely take that part of the year, take that part of the year and make it one of those major ones.
No, absolutely.
We just
to the point where City and Odell's and Belgium have got sponsors.
I want to get a brewery on board this year. Why the fuck not? I was actually really disappointed that I didn't leave us enough. We did down to the wire again.
There's new breweries that are springing up.
They want to market, man. Don't give us free kegs.
There's a new
Don't
one
put a tent up.
that just sprung up over here on Taft, right over there by the King Supers and by the Papa Murphy's over there. They used to be there.
Yeah.
There's a new brewery that just sprung up over there. There's 2 more breweries that just sprung up out near on the right next to Odell's.
Yeah. See, I don't know about this because I'm in Austin, but that's perfect. So
there's 2 breweries right there that just sprung up within the last year.
So there's going to be one of 2 things that's going to happen. When we approach a small brewery, they're either going to say, we don't have the marketing budget for that, or it's too risky, or whatever weird stuff that a young business is worried about. or they're going to say, fuck yes, we've been wanting to get eyes on our brand, and we really would love to do something local like this.
Right.
We're going to eat one or the other. Let's start there, because they're going to have less red tape too. Small biz. I mean, especially if they're not.
Well, I kind of want to get in the mindset of like, where are they at as far as what they're willing to do, right? Are they? Yeah. Because I mean, we've been doing this or at least I've been doing this for 6 years.
You've been doing, this is your 6th year. This is only my 5th year, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger? But we only have 2 videos from 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and one's on a block party, one's at a venue, you know, so there's a little bit of inconsistency there.
You know, we could probably find some footage from year number 3 on Facebook and piece it together. I mean, that's not an issue, though. That's an issue that we're making up in our heads, dude. I promise you that's not going to become a problem. Because it specifically says, and we have the days that it was posted. It's not like we just made up a video this year and said, hey, this is year number 6.
Right.
Like, we can literally show it was posted last year.
No, I mean, I think the videos are great. Just show who comes out to these things, right? Yeah. And the commodity and the just the kind of vibe. Like, damn, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Damn, these guys are, you know what I'm saying? It's not just this, you know, it's a very well put together, you know, video.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like this, hey, we like to party, bro. Just, you know, give us
flat bills and beer pong, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're doing this big, you know, we're gonna try to do the world's biggest, you know, flip cup, you know.
Flip cup challenge.
Yeah.
We want you to give us free beer. Yeah, clearly it's not one of those.
And obviously the way we pitch it and whatnot is gonna however it's gonna come across. So
I'm not worried about any of those details. It just comes down to what do we want, because we will get what we want. I'm not saying that because I think that we're God's gift.
First priority right now is to get that block locked down.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to Blue.
What's our main goal? Here, let's go back. Let's big picture real fast. What's our main goal this year with the event? I think, for just speaking for myself, is I think it's number one, to reaffirm that it's a community event, not a money making event.
Right.
I think that I don't think anybody was talking or anything like that or worried about that at the last event, but if it could become a thing, and I don't want it to become a thing. So that's number one. I wanted to reaffirm that the culture is what's important to us. Number two, my second biggest thing is I want the musicians to get more out of the event than they have in years past.
Right.
Those are just from my perspective. Super curious what your goals would be, if there's any difference.
I mean, honestly, it's always been about the culture for me.
Yeah. I got that from you, actually. 100%. 100%. You started it off on the right foot.
Right.
When you started this thing.
So, I mean, that's always been my main goal. The bigger it's gotten, I mean, to me, it's never gotten out of control. You've gotten, you know.
You mean respect between patrons?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, just everybody in general, from artists to you know, everybody gelled. You know, it was a good spot to be in. Everybody was in sync with what was going on.
We had a problem
was on the same page.
We did have a problem with that one DJ, but that's my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. because I put the show together and then I wasn't physically there to help manage set times, and then it was as simple as miscommunication that happened between artists making changes to the time slots. That's all it was. It was simple.
That's right. You did kind of like raise a little bit of hell twice, right? Because there was that one year.
There was 2 years in a row that the artist didn't like dealing with him. So,
right.
But I don't want to go down that road. At the end of the day, he lives in San Fran now, so this doesn't matter. So,
but those things are gonna happen, you know, every once in a while.
Well, not when I'm there. It's never happened when I was there, because we shut it. We shut it down immediately when we were there to manage it the first time. The second year, which was not the 6th but the 5th annual, I was in California during the event.
Right.
And that shit went down, and you were handling tickets and stuff, and like wristbands, and making sure we didn't have underage drinking.
Right.
And then the artist had to manage. We need a stage manager. I need to be there to help with that. So, but that won't be a problem. I'm more concerned with like how we'll choose we won't have a problem choosing artists. We won't have a problem making sure that they that they are respectful to each other and all that stuff, because I'll be there to fucking get in someone's face if there's an issue. And it's never been a problem. It's never a problem in any other show. So that's not a thing that we would need to focus on. It's more like who do we want to choose? Who are the fans going to want to come see? The fans of the event going to want to come see.
And they're going to want to see something new.
It should be a gift to the fans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely. I mean, and like I said, doing something new this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would definitely be...
Something new. And the beauty of that is that luckily, it'll automatically turn into a bigger event because of that, because those new artists that we bring into the event now, they're going to bring new people, and we're still going to be able to maintain all the old patrons.
Right.
So it's going to be a bigger event just because we're bringing new artists, and we just need to figure out that's why it's important to me to make sure that the artists this year, we do more for them, because if they feel valued enough, they're going to put more work into promotion, and then obviously that kind of pays us back immediately. Yeah. So it just, that pays itself off. That's not even, it's like a small, we added small expenses to help the artists, and it'll exponentially pay itself. It'll come back ROI positive.
Absolutely.
So I'm not worried about us spending a couple $100 extra bucks.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel you on that.
How do we keep from underage drinking problems?
We can't. We gotta.
No.
Again, we
can't be okay with that answer. You know what I mean?
Not in that
There's
sense.
a way.
I mean, things are gonna happen, but at the same time, every year we've had somebody in there that was definitely not of age. But that's because they slipped through the cracks. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we can't keep people from trying to duck us, but...
No, but the way we set it up in year 5, because year 5 we had it kind of cordoned off a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
The block there.
Yeah.
And, they came through, but there was a lot of people that were confused about
where do I go?
Money, and where do I get my, where am I getting my wristband?
Cool.
So that's what I was saying.
So let's avoid confusion. Let's get staff, number one, like you said. We
just
pay them.
Volunteer dudes or whatever. Like, here's $80. You know what I'm saying? Can you do this for like an hour or two?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just make sure nobody gets past your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll take this whole thing off, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They'll funnel it right into you.
Here's what we do. The way that the reason that I don't throw, I'm not perfect, but I generally don't ever end up throwing shows where artists don't bring at least the amount of people they promise me, because I set up their pay structure to where they're motivated monetarily to do what they say they're going to do. It's just that simple. All I'm doing is holding people to their word. That's it. No, I don't expect any more or any less.
So I think that's we saw a lot of that last year, or not last year, but the year 5 too. They're just like, oh no, we're with the band. Oh, okay, cool. Oh no, we're with the band too.
Right.
Oh no, we're with the band. Oh, wait, there's like 6 of you. Yeah, we're all with the band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, hold up.
So, but what I'm getting at,
trickling down the line, just tell them with the band.
That's a problem. Yeah. So we need to be very. Oh, and last year that was a problem on my end. I made a mistake. I didn't.
Well, we just kept having to come up with.
Dude, we had over 100 guest list people, 112 guest list people last year. I think.
Was it 112?
Well, I think it was 112, dude. Do you know? That's like absurd. Usually you have 6 per band, max.
Right.
So like that's 24 is what it should have been. It was 112. The venue was so pissed at me, dude. So anyway, lesson learned.
I think putting a cap on that is.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna put a cap.
We'll bump it up to 8. All right, and you got 8 per band. You know what I'm saying? Like, or
let's just do normal, like every other show on the planet. They get 6 or 4. It's usually 1 per band member is the general rule in the industry.
Right, of course.
So, that's how it is. We'll give a DJ whatever the majority of the other bands have. Sure. Just to even it out. But anyway, what I'm saying though is the way that I monetize or that I motivate the artists to deliver on their promises. Let's do the same thing with the security people. So like, give them some sort of like, I don't know. We could set it up so it's almost like a game. Like there's a bonus structure if you or I do a random check, and we can't find anybody in the event that isn't proper. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Set up proper.
Right.
If you and I go check, we could say at 3 undisclosed times we're gonna go check around, and if we find If we can't find anyone, you're getting extra money. So we're not going to not pay them if we find someone.
Sure.
You're going to get bonus if you just do your fucking job right.
Right. Exactly.
And the reason that we're doing that is because we could just give this money either way, but the reason we're doing it is because we need your help to keep this from getting shut down. It's that simple.
Right.
Why don't we do that?
And then, I mean, there's a lot of people that we can, I mean, just that would even just volunteer to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like, hey, baby, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, a lot of that, and especially with the following we have with this, I think a lot of that will kind of just come with it. You know? And it's not so much like being security is just more of like a watchful eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, just we need to get people on our team that are going to really protect our interests. It's simple. They just need to be on the same. We need to have aligning interests. That's all it is.
Right. No,
That's
absolutely.
All. So we just set it up so that way they have no reason not to. They have more of a reason to be on our side and help us protect the integrity of the event and not have underage drinking than they have to hook up their friend who's 16.
Right.
We need to make sure they're more incentivized to help us than to help their 16-year-old friend. That's all. That's all we need, and then problem solved.
No,
so,
absolutely. That's
and what I can do in the meantime between now and then is I'll definitely make sure to interview somebody who is a part of one of these bigger festivals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll ask them is there a basic formula? Is there something that we're missing? Is there something that every festival does for security that
like a general rule of thumb?
Yeah, like with
do's and don'ts.
Specific, this is obvious if there were doors, but there's no doors. That's why this is a complicated question.
Right. This is pretty much out in the open. This is very open, essentially.
So maybe that's the problem we really should be focusing on. It's not incentivizing people to do common sense stuff. It's more like how do we funnel people
at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of just like we're gonna give people direction, right? You
Right.
take lanes off a road, which way am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So let's put lanes in the fucking road.
Right. Yeah.
On either end, once we have the barriers there, simple piece of fucking tape.
Those
goes and funnels it right into those tents that I had set up with
we could have tape
with the money box right there. Boom.
Those plastic orange construction zone things that they use for the walls or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't really duck under that or hop over without breaking it. Sure. So we could do those. We can make sure they're 8 feet high,
right.
And then wrap it across the street from one end to another, and then we just have one security guard each corner. Done. Case closed.
Yeah.
And we pay them so they don't want to leave their corner.
Absolutely. No,
if I catch you leaving your corner, you're not getting paid.
Exactly.
That's simple. So happy to have you at the event. You get free beer the whole time, and actually, there's nothing actually technically wrong. The city won't care if our security people are drinking as long as they're not carrying weapons.
Right.
So that's fine. Then they're just there to make sure 16-year-olds don't run through.
No, of course. I mean, we just gotta look legit. That's all we gotta do.
Yeah.
And you give a couple guys a fucking security fucking t-shirt.
We can make security shirts with the logo on. Actually, that'd be pretty tight for the video too, because we'll do another video. I think we're getting dialed in here.
Block cops,
dude. Kev, this is getting. I'm so excited. We're doing a block again. That venue was fun, but it wasn't as fun. It just wasn't as fun.
No, it just didn't have the same vibe.
It did. I didn't have as much fun organizing it as I did in years past.
And like I said, it was last minute, man. We did that in 2 months.
We did, yeah. And I didn't like that there was so much changing last minute due to things that were out of our control. The venue had too much say in how things were going to go down.
Right.
In paying the artists and keeping track of who was there to see who. That was hard for me to deal with. They changed our plan.
So much.
They changed our plan 4 to 7 days before I remember this. I was like, I made the tickets they asked me to make. Individually, each one said the band's name.
Yeah, what they talking about? Yeah, we'll make the tickets.
I have them on my desktop, dude. I emailed them each. They said, make them, email them to us, we'll print them. And I did, and they were like, oh, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to excuse me? Them. I didn't make them for fun. This was the plan. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is,
sick to have our own fucking ticket.
I already made them. I'll just go back I'll go back in and change the date, dude. We're good. No one's seen them yet. We haven't used them, so we'll just print new ones and good to go.
Perfect.
I think, we got a good start. Christmas Day, man. This is I'm all about traditions with you, Kev, and I think
I'm telling you, man, this works every fucking time, brother.
Okay, well, I'm always here for Christmas, so we're going to start planning this out. Maybe not on Christmas Day if you're busy, but this is a good time. 4th of July, we got 3 months to be dialed in.
Right.
Because, 4 months. April, May. Oh, Jesus. I was thinking July was 4th month of the year because we said 4th of July. It's the 7th.
Yep.
Okay, we got half a year to dial it
in. We got plenty of time.
But this is good though because I think we need to start reaching out to big vendors.
Stuff and vendors and if we want to get a fucking brewery on board.
We need to get them to set aside a marketing budget for whatever they're going to do. So this is the sooner we do it with them, actually, the more likely we're going to get our answer.
Yeah. And then, even then, yeah.
Okay, so next steps are what? I'll start thinking about which bands. How about that?
Let me see if I can get the block locked down.
Okay, you do location. I'll do start working on bands because the good ones are going to be booked for the 4th of July by March.
Okay.
And the only other thing that I'm working on right now in terms of events is South by Southwest is coming up very, very soon. So I'm going to be starting to put together a whole showcase in Austin. But I think, definite rule. Last year, we brought someone from San Antonio. I think that was a mistake on my end. So local artists only. Local meaning could be from Colorado Springs.
Those guys, man, those guys were pretty good too. Like
they were pretty good.
I mean, had they came on,
and they should have played before they should have played. Yeah, they should not have had to play last. That was a bad thing too. The whoever. I want to stay away from using the word headliner and stuff because it's not the kind of event where the last act is like the best time set. Yeah. All the set times are good.
Usually whoever's coming with that band is usually just, you know what I'm saying?
They come in for that band.
People don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, they're playing last, whatever, boom. I mean, if anything else, like saving our biggest act second to last, and then
I think though that really we should still do it last though, because the last thing you want is the biggest act to perform. And then the person after that band that plays after that, they're watching everybody leave the venue. Everybody else is watching everybody leave the venue after they saw the act that they came to see. So now people who were gonna stay for this last band, they're seeing everyone piecing out. Now they're going, maybe I should leave too. Once people start exiting, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So So we need to run. I'm not going to use because. There aren't, all the times themselves, there's no pro or con to any of them. But we do need the biggest act to play last. For the psychology of that's just how people are in group, it's just group mentality. It's a social thing. Social science.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, so go ahead and just work on that, and then I'll work on location.
Okay, you got location. I got, Well, this was a long one, but I think it was full of a lot of really important points if you're going to host an event. And, man, I'm just so excited for the 4th of July. If you are a vendor and you want to talk to us about being a part of the event and getting your brand in front of all the people that are going to be at this event, feel free to reach out to me, tim@MVRKmusic.com, or you can just call me. Also, if you just want more advice on event promotion, marketing your band, just really doing any of the stuff that a label would do for you if you were signed, if you were a signed artist, just follow us. Our Instagram is just @MVRKLive. Same thing with our Facebook handle. Talk to you guys soon.